Hey guys, so today we're going to be working with latex, specifically how to make things like fake skin and burns using latex. You have, again, the latex that comes in your kit. If you're like me, you get the bigger bottles. I have one that's clear latex, which I really like because it just dries a little more clear on the skin, doesn't take as much to tone match. I'm also going to be using the bruise wheel that comes in your kit, as well as your fake blood. So let's get started. So we're gonna start just by putting some very light layers of this latex on the skin. Latex does have a fairly strong smell. Please be aware of that. And also, again, always be aware of your allergies. And you'll see that this, because this is the clear latex, as it dries, it does go on pretty clearly, right? You can do all sorts of things with latex. If you're getting ready to do some like age makeup for camera, you can actually come in, and I'll show you how to do that just a little bit up here. You can like come in very carefully, always when you're working near your eyes, very carefully. And you can go sort of close to your eyes and it will accentuate things like crow's feet, right? Any kind of movement that your face makes will be sort of accentuated with that. But we're just gonna, decide where our burn is going to be. I'm just gonna kind of do across my face. Ooh, you can see it's already starting to dry and pull against itself. You could see as it pulled away like that, which is fine. You do have to work kind of quickly with these sorts of things. But since I'm going for a burn, it's okay for it to sort of look like that. Right, and you can see next to my eyes how it's really kind of pulling out the movement. And depending on how thick and gross you want your burn to be, you can do as many layers of this as you want. You can also add texture to it by laying down like toilet paper, the cheap stuff, or like cheap one-ply Kleenexes. You can lay that down first and then go over it with latex, and it will create some pretty cool textures. We're just going to do basic latex right here. Again, as with all wounds, you need to think about how anatomy works and also think about what kind of injury you're talking about, right? If you are talking about a chemical burn versus a thermal burn, which is like actually with fire, versus an electrical burn, those are all going to be kind of different. And that's totally fine. Just do your research when you're doing those things. I'm actually going to take this off right here, and that's okay, and kind of fill it in. And you can see the more I put on, the less sort of clear and see-through it becomes on my skin, and that's fine. That's totally fine. It's because it's now going on top of itself instead of on the skin. Then let it dry. As always, whenever you are letting something air dry and you're wanting to make it go faster, if you use a hair dryer, always make sure it's one that has the cool setting on it, because if you came at this with a hot hair dryer, it would just melt it, and that's not what we want. And once it's dry to the point you want, you can do a few things. You can either come in, add some more layers if that's what you want, or my cat is crying to come in here. No, Maggie, not right now. You can come in with your base, right, to cover up the white, make it match the rest of the skin tone. Now, if you just wanted it to be sort of like a texture on your skin, like age or like scarring, you could leave it just like this, right? Because you can see it's got some sort of scarring to it, right? You can also come in, if you don't want it to just be left scarred, you can come in and pull bits of it away. And that can create things like blisters that have busted. Or to make it look like skin that's peeling away. See, pulling it out like that makes it look a little bit like a blister. But going ahead and breaking it makes it look like skin that needs to be peeled away. And once you kind of have whatever kind of weird, gross look you're going for, you can come in with your bruise wheel, right? And kind of doctor the skin underneath so that it looks sort of raw and burnt, right? I'm going to take some of my red, right? You can go kind of up underneath and around. A lot of people ask, can you paint it before you put that on there? You can, but it's going to show through. So you have to think about how much makeup you would have to put on top of it to cover the color that you've got underneath, to color correct. So honestly, it's just easier. You can also add, I'm gonna add, just because I'm gross like that, a little bit of the yellow, right? Mix it in so it looks kind of pussy. And raw, right? You can also, to sort of give it some more texture and some depth, you can come in with a little bit of your sort of brown here and go around the edges with that, just to give it a little bit more depth. And so it looks like it's sort of fairly freshly peeled away. And if you're feeling just especially saucy, you can always come in with your blood.